Hey there, island dreamers, locals, and anyone craving a slice of paradise. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time, to the Fun and Key West podcast, where the vibe is always laid back, the stories are salty, and the drinks, well, they're definitely frozen. I'm your host, Michelle O'Connor, your unofficial tour guide to the Conquered Public. Whether you're planning your first trip, your fifth trip, or you're just daydreaming about trading the cubicle for the ocean breeze, you are in the right place. Here's the deal. This podcast is your insider's guide to all things Key West. We're talking where to eat, hello, conch fritters and key lime pie, where to drink, spoiler alert, there will be rum, where to stay, and all the quirky, wonderful things that make Key West the one-of-a-kind paradise we all love. Plus, we'll keep you up to date on the latest happenings, festivals, events, maybe even the occasional Hemingway lookalike sighting. And just to keep things spicy, we'll be bringing on some amazing guests now and then, locals, business owners, and people who know the island like the back of their sandy hand. So grab your flip-flops, pour yourself a cold one, and let's escape to the island state of mind together, whether you're tuning in from your hammock or your commute, while wishing it was a hammock. We've got all the Key West goodness coming your way. Thanks for being here. It's going to be a lot of fun in Key West. Let's dive in. Welcome, my friend. Today, we're going to dive into the world of travel, hospitality, and how to make your next trip to paradise even more seamless and enjoyable. Joining me is the incredible Eric Goldreyer, a hospitality guru with over 30 years of experience and a knack for shaking up the travel industry. From bed and breakfasts to mega yachts, Eric's done it all, and he's here to share insider tips, stories, and game-changing way to book your next stay. So grab your sunscreen, a tropical drink, and let's get started.
Welcome to Fun in Key West, where every day feels like a mini fest. Grab a drink, take it slow. We'll show you where the locals go. Food, fun, and stories to tell. Hidden gems you know so well. Your Key West experts here to say it's fun in Key West every day.
Welcome, everyone.
Hey,
Yeah, I know.
and
Isn't
that's a
that
wrap.
fun? So, welcome everyone to the Fun in Key West podcast. I am Michelle O'Connor, your official host of everything fun in Key West and the Florida Keys. And we've been having a lot of conversations lately about where to stay and some of those platforms that are out there. And I thought, you know what? Eric Goldreyer would be the perfect person to come on and tell us all about what he knows because he's got a phenomenal background. So, Eric, I am going to have you introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are.
Yeah, thanks. So let me first say you have to love when you can get a jingle and you don't have to spend $10,000, right?
Yep.
You get AI is the best thing ever. That was a great one. Hey, so thanks for having me. Yeah, so I'm Eric Goldreyer. I've been in hospitality for quite a long time. Let's say a little over 30 years,
Mhm.
and started out in the bed and breakfast space. I started a company called FunInKeyWest.com, and we had the largest true bed and breakfast, not Airbnb, true bed and breakfast site in the world for B&Bs. And we had the first central reservation systems innkeepers could distribute to Travelocity, Expedia, et cetera. We had a property management software system. A lot of fun. Sold that in 2010 to a company also here in Austin, Texas called HomeAway.
Mhm.
And then a couple years later, I bought. I like hospitality. It's relationships, and that's to me that's what life's about. I bought an inn or boutique hotel with a business partner. It was 12 keys. We still own it 13 years later, and we're at 20 keys now. That's a lot of fun. Started a company that some of the folks down in Key West may have seen called Fun Air.
Oh,
It's the leading manufacturer of inflatables for mega yachts. So if you see a yacht with a slide hanging off the side of it, there's a good chance it's ours. We're the leader in the space. Started that 2013. At the same time, I co-founded a company called Turnkey Vacation Rentals. So we built the second largest property management company in North America. It was sort of a tech first. Property management companies typically very mom and pop. People maybe didn't have a hotel background and sort of knew someone that had a vacation home, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll watch it for you." Next thing you know, they've got 5 and then 10 and then 20 properties, and they're a property manager. Um, so we started a property management company leveraging technology.
Hmm.
We built it to the second largest in North America, and we sold it to Vacasa in 2021. And it also was just a lot of fun. I mean, we brought a lot of people. Gave them an easier way to find a great place to stay. And now sort of doing it again with Savvy.com. We're basically as a traveler, I was actually heading to Florida to watercolor area 30A with my wife and daughter and some friends, and we went to book a place on Airbnb, and it was going to be $400 a night for 4 nights. So I expected, 1,600 plus tip I mean, sorry, taxes, maybe it's 2 grand, $2,700. And
Wow.
I thought, okay, this is ridiculous. I had been dealing with it as a hotel owner, and just thought it was ridiculous. But then to see it as a traveler, and so what we set out to fix in Savvy is all the things people are really frustrated with in Airbnb and Verbo. Mainly for a traveler,
Right.
we don't charge platform fees, so you save
Good.
15 to 20%. Since we launched Savvy, right at a year ago, Savvy.com went live. We're saving people on average $400 per stay. So that's money that the traveler can use to get a nicer place, stay an extra night, bring in a chef, get the snorkeling excursion, or go down to Duval and have fun, whatever it is that, they want to do with that 400, but it doesn't just go to a platform.
Right.
They get to use it to create better memories with friends and family. And then ultimately, it a lot of times goes to the property manager and to the homeowner. So it's been fun because it's something travelers love. Property managers don't like an intermediary between them and their guest,
Yeah.
and we're a book direct marketplace. So when someone books on us, they're really booking directly with the host, and so they love it. And so it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, and I'm going to stop there because I've said plenty.
There's a lot there. And if you are watching us live, thank you for doing that. But put in a comment. If you have questions for Eric, this is why we have him on, so that you can ask those questions. So you alluded to this. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that I don't think a lot of people understand when they book through Verbo or Airbnb or Expedia. What are some of those things that are going on behind the scenes that they're not aware of?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of times when a traveler books on Airbnb, for example, first of all, a lot of folks just aren't savvy travelers in that they don't realize that they're paying 15 to 20% in fees to the platform.
Mhm.
And then what happens is the platform doesn't want the traveler to book directly with the host, because God
Mhm.
forbid, that'd be terrible. Hospitality might happen, and we don't want that. But truth be told, is with their business model, if the traveler can book directly with the host, then they don't get to make their $400, right? So they're doing all they can to prevent the host from getting the traveler's contact information. So you'll notice that you can only communicate in app,
Mhm.
right? Through Airbnb. They're not going to let you put your phone number or your email in that app. We, on the other hand, I mean, here's the property manager's website link, here's their phone number, here's their text, here's their email. Hospitality is communication between people. So if you want to reach out to your host, please, do it.
Good.
The other Airbnb is now not even sending phone numbers. They're giving
Mhm.
guests temporary phone numbers because they don't want the property manager to disintermediate the channel, the OTA,
Right.
if you will, the online travel agency like Airbnb and Verbo. So it's gotten a little bit kludgy. What started out as a great new way to travel with friends and family, because you could have a great, big living room and a big patio, and you could cook, and if you needed to do some laundry, you could, and you weren't paying to park and all
Mm.
these stupid hotel fees. And now it's just gotten sort of out of hand.
Right.
So yeah, we're just trying to create a cleaner, I would say, marketplace, if you will.
Yeah, and I think that's some of the misconceptions that people have when they start to book with, their place to stay, be it in Key West, the Florida Keys, or anywhere.
That's
They
right.
think that they have access to the owner or property manager, and you really don't. You have to go through this intermediary, and it's frustrating. I have a home in the Orlando area, and we're in a
Yeah.
resort area, and there's a lot of owners who rent, and they aren't able to communicate directly with the people and answer questions. It has to go
That are
through.
going to come stay. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
They can't
times
vet them. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you can't vet them, you can't do that, and you get a lot of, I think, fraud on both sides. So, we're gonna dig a little bit more into savvy in a minute, but for our audience, if, I've got the person sitting out there saying, "Okay, I'm gonna use this online, but how do I know I'm not getting scammed? How do I know this is a real thing?"
Yeah. It's funny you say that. You mean savvy,
Yeah,
or do you mean anywhere?
any one of them.
Yeah, I mean, just like you do in any other platform online, right? You got to look at reviews.
Mhm.
How many reviews do they have? Over what time period? If it's a new listing and it's been live a month and there's zero reviews, you're going to be cautious. If they've been live a month and they've got 10 reviews, you're going to be cautious. So you just want to, one, you want to know they've been vetted. The
Mhm.
host has been vetted. And then you want to know that they've got a lot of reviews and that they're good. And I guess the wrinkle that we add is that you're booking with a professional when you book with us. We don't allow for rent by owner properties or FURBOs. And so when you book with us, you're booking with someone that does it for a living.
And I think that's the uniqueness that I found with Savvy. A lot of times when people reach out to us at Fun and Key West for ideas on where to stay, I'll quickly run through, some of the larger online booking sites and say, okay, here's some that are available. And then I always go to that source directly and figure out if it's locally managed, because number one, like you said, we're going to avoid some of those fees for the people. And number two, we're
Right.
probably going to get a better deal, especially, on the hotel side. We're going to get a much better deal because booking through some of these online platforms, if there's any issues with the reservation and the person shows up to check in, you have to deal with that online booking platform
Yeah.
that you went through. You can't deal with who you're talking to. And so I
That's right.
think that's,
We've all booked on Expedia,
yeah,
even like a hotel, right? And you show
hmm,
up at the hotel and you're like, "Hey, I'd like to upgrade my room, or I'd like to blah blah blah." They're like, "Oh, sorry, you need to call Expedia."
yep,
And you're like, "Oh boy."
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, not
Expedia,
ideal.
now picks up those Verbo and Airbnb properties. And so you've got
Hmm.
that double layer. So
Hmm.
it's much harder. As you start to grow out Savvy and you work with these property managers, how are you vetting these property managers in these properties? Are you going to all of these? How are you doing this?
Yeah, unfortunately, hey, that's my job. I'm just going to go stay. No, it's not practical to physically go to every host. So far we've done it all internally, right? So we
Mhm.
have a process. I'm not going to share what it is, or then property managers will try to get around it. But we've got a 8 9 step process that we do internally to make sure that everything is valid and legit. Because we're a newer brand and a newer company, the fact that even though we vet them, if people don't know us and they don't trust us, they're not going to trust our vetting. So we will be integrating a third party trust and ID verification process before summer. And all of our hosts will go through it. And then travelers will also go through it when they make a reservation.
Awesome. Yeah. And I was just doing a real quick search. When travelers look, not necessarily on Savvy, but they're online and they're trying to compare what you're doing to what others may be doing,
Yeah.
what are some of the back end fees or fees that most travelers get burned on that they don't realize that they're going to be charged?
Well, I think there's fees that you are going to be charged, right? Let's start with those. You're going to
Okay.
have hot or hotel occupancy tax, right?
Mhm.
You can't. You can't get around that. If it's a legal property, they should be paying their taxes. You're going to have a cleaning fee,
Mhm.
right? Vacation rentals are different than hotels in that they don't have 150 of the same room. That's just a room.
Right.
They've got a, 3-bedroom kitchen, multiple baths. So you got to have them cleaned. Those are fees that are fair and realistic. I think the fees you have to look at. I've never seen it in the vacation rental space, but I mean, you get fees at Ticketmaster, you get fees at StubHub, you get fees when you show up at a hotel and there's a resort fee and it's frustrating. It's typically in the vacation rental space, it's platform fees that you have to worry about and watch out
Mhm.
for. And I think Airbnb started not. I wish it was because Airbnb was just so lovely, but it was actually the FTC that mandated that folks show the entire cost, right? The
Right.
entire price, including the fees. So
Mhm.
at least when you go to Airbnb now, the price you see is the full price. But if you hit the little toggle and break it down,
Mhm.
you're paying a lot more than you should. And it's a little side plug, but when you're on Savvy and you find a property that you like and you give us your dates, we show you the Savvy price. And right next to
Yeah.
it, we show you the Airbnb price. And if you want to click on it, you can click and it takes you to the Airbnb listing for those dates so you can see the price. So yeah, we sort of try to do the shopping for you.
I really had appreciated that because I was looking through the site for specific properties in Key West, and you have everything from super luxurious to something that is going to do what it needs to do. Um, let's see, we do have somebody. I'm going to pop this in here. So we have Tara here, and she's wanting to know the website that I need to go to that you're talking about because I really want to come back home to Key West to honor my mama and daddy's last wishes. So to be on their way back home. So I'm going to give you a free plug there. Where should she go?
Yeah, I mean it's very simple. It's just Savvy, Savvy, savvy.com.
Yep,
Not Savvy Travel, Savvy Stay, Savvy whatever, just savvy.com.
savvy.com. And there, Tara,
Yeah.
you're on there. So you've been doing this
And
for,
and that's very cool, by the way, that you're doing that to honor your parents.
that is very cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very cool. You've been doing this for just a little bit of time, just a little bit,
Just a minute. Just
just
a
a
minute, as
minute.
they say.
When you look about when you first started in building your platforms to what you're doing now with savvy.com, has travel changed? And what has made, what do you think is the big change?
I think travel, that's a great question. And unfortunately, I think travel has changed a bit.
Hmm.
Um, I think the big corporate platforms, frankly, have tried to commoditize it, right? They've tried to remove the hospitality piece from the equation and make it a transaction piece because that's how they can make money.
Right.
Um, and we're big believers in relationships and people to people, and technology definitely has a place. I mean, Airbnb is a great example. Amazing website and
Yeah.
amazing app, and those guys are rock stars. But technology can't take the place of hospitality, and so our belief is that technology should help travelers pardon me, with discovery,
Right.
and then ultimately make it super easy for the traveler to find, book a property that they get the best rate at, and make it easy for them to reach out and speak with the host if they desire, and don't force it all to happen online, if you will.
No, that makes sense.
Make it so that it can, because a lot of people want that.
Hmm.
But I mean, if I've got like a big event going on and I'm taking my family to something, I probably want to talk with, the professional host and tell them, hey, this is what we're coming for. This is what this is sort of our 4 days. We're going to be there. And they're probably in a better position to give me advice than an app or a website can. Yes, AI is getting better and better, and that can help as well. But you may talk to the property manager or the host, and they may say, "Hey, it's not online yet, but I've got the property that would be perfect for you.
Hmm.
But it goes live in 2 weeks. You're not coming for 2 months. So let me send you some information on it. It's
Right.
not on Airbnb. It's not on Verb. It's not on Savvy. It's not on whatever.
Hmm.
So it just allows hospitality to flourish, and then allows the property manager to to show their chops, right? Hey, can I get some groceries for you? Do you need a chef? Yes, we do. Oh, there's a ton of them. What type of food do you like? Let me find the chef that it's a bachelorette party. Okay, this lady's a lot of fun, or it's a multi generational
Hmm.
thing. This
Hmm.
guy, it's the nuance.
Yeah. No, I really like that because there are situations where, like Tara's noting here, that maybe they're trying to come in, but they're not real sure when they're going to come in. And in places like Key West, the Florida Keys, and other places that are heavy tourist destinations, especially certain times of the year, I think having that personal connection is really essential to making sure that you get what you need and that you're not disappointed when you show up at the door and you have somebody there holding your hand along the way. Hey, this isn't working, or I need this, or whatever. So, what is some, you mentioned that you can talk directly with the property manager. What other recommendations and how does Savvy help people who are coming to these popular destinations during popular times?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all boils down to we're going to make it super easy and enable direct communication with the people that are in that market. And
Right.
they've been in that market during super busy times before. It's in their first rodeo, right? Like the comment you just mentioned, showing up to a property, and there's issues, right?
Hmm.
Well, that's the difference. But that goes back to why we don't allow for rent by owner.
Right.
We don't want you to show up to Key West. Let's say you flew into Miami and you drove the 4.5, 5 hours down, and you get there 11 o'clock at night with your family in tow, and the Bluetooth lock doesn't work,
Hmm.
right? We don't want you trying to reach some bro that's on a surfing safari down in South America. We want you to be able to reach a professional that's on the island and is going to let you into your place, and he'll be there in 5 minutes, right?
Right.
He or she'll be there in 5 minutes. So I think with us, it's you're going to get the best price. You're going to get the book direct price. You're going
Hmm.
to get a professional host, so you should have peace of mind.
Hmm.
And if you need to reach out for any reason, we're not trying to prevent that from happening. We're trying to facilitate that from happening
Yeah.
to
No, I
happen. I mean,
Yeah, no, I love that because there's a lot of unknowns, and I get a little nervous. We have a travel agency, and I get a little nervous in trying to recommend places because I'm like, ah, man, I'm not going to send you to a person managed property. I'm going to send you to a place that's being managed by professionals so that I have some accountability back to them. You have
and
some, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to make the comment that having professionally hosted properties doesn't assure you the absolute best property, right? There are some people that are good at hospitality that can give you an amazing for rent by owner property.
Hmm.
What it does is it gives you that sort of that level of certainty that it's professionally managed and there's a professional there to take care of you. And look, we've all had experiences with professionals that don't always go well. So the other thing that we've got to do is we've got to make sure that we're attuned to the feedback that we get from travelers. And, at bedandbreakfast.com, this is years ago, but if we had an innkeeper that was bad and they consistently got bad reviews, we pulled them off the site because you can't have one bad apple ruin
Right.
the bed and breakfast industry for everybody. Similarly for the vacation rental. I mean, we're going to do background checks on the hosts, and we're going to get ratings and reviews, but we got to keep an eye on it. And I think that's one of the things that platforms can do for you. Whereas if maybe you go just sort of do a Google search for,
Hmm.
you don't want to use a platform. Let's say you showroom on Airbnb or Verbo, and you're like, okay, I found a good property with a good host. Now I need to go find that host directly. Some people just go to Google and like say, hey, I'm looking for a
Hmm.
property management company in Key West or Boca Chica Key or wherever they are. And it's like, okay, you don't really know much about that
Right.
property manager.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. Um, So as people start to scroll through and look at some of the properties that you have available in the Florida Keys and Key West, um, and this is probably putting you on the spot. So if you don't know the answer, just tell me. Is there any in there that you're like, this is like where you absolutely need to see if you can get in?
I wish I could say that I knew. We've got 150,000 properties in North America on the site. Um, and I've been to maybe 10 of them.
So that's
So
so that's a really
my
good
wife
answer.
was just in Key West two
Okay,
weeks ago, and she stayed with at a friend's place down there, but they had an amazing time.
good.
Uh, got to tell you a little sidebar story. When I founded bedandbreakfast.com, I had sold it to a company in San Mateo, California, and I continued running the business for them. And then they didn't quite make it. They were trying to compete with what became hotels.com. It was called Hotel Reservation or HRN at the time. Bob Diener actually lives in Miami, so he's close to you guys. Um, I We were in Key West when I sort of sent the email that says, "Hey, I'm out. Here's my 2 weeks notice. I'm not gonna,
Right.
let you guys drive bedandbreakfast.com to the ground, but I'll buy it back from you, but I'm out."
Hmm.
And thankfully it worked. But we were sitting in Key West and it's like, this is, you can't have AI review your email. You type it up and you're like, okay, here we go. You ready? Send.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Key West has a really nice place in my heart. I'm also a huge Ernest Hemingway fan, and I'm a parrot head. So yeah,
Well,
sort
so
of fit all the boxes.
you check all the
Yeah,
boxes of my community.
yeah.
I think anybody that's watching, all of the people can absolutely relate. And that what's unique about Key West is there are no high-rise hotels. The La Concha is about it, and it's the highest privately owned building on the island. But you have just an abundance of B&Bs.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of people who come down to Key West and they want to stay longer than maybe a
Yeah,
weekend. They want to stay maybe a week, maybe a month, and that's where
maybe a
savvy.com comes.
year.
Yeah, or a year. Yeah, that's where savvy
Yeah,
comes in.
yeah.
So I think that's really important.
No, I
Sounds like
think
you.
you guys in Key West are just sort of setting the hook, and
Mhm.
you get them down there like Jerry Jeff Walker and Jimmy Buffett, and then they
Yep.
just sort of make it their home.
Yeah, it's one of those places that people try to not come back to, and they just keep coming back because they're like, you know what, we can't find any place better, so we might as well just keep coming back.
Yeah, the Dry Tortugas is a nice little spot as well.
Love that. Do you take the seaplane out or do you take the Yankee frigate?
We did a catamaran, a
Ooh,
private catamaran a buddy had. We had to sail it down from Fort Lauderdale, and then he was going to take it across to the BVI. So I helped him sail it down to Key West, and we stayed in Key West for 4 days or so. So we went out to the Dry Tortugas, and it was amazing.
that's awesome. So I
Yeah.
always give people an opportunity who are watching to ask any last questions before we wrap up. But I have a few more for you. So you spend some
Okay.
time down in Key West. What's
Yeah.
your go-to place for dinner or breakfast or lunch? What's your favorite place?
Oh gosh, the last time I was there was probably 10 years ago. I should ask my wife because she was just there. I tell you, what I like to find is a great little hole in the wall coffee
Mhm.
spot
Ooh,
that
yep.
has awesome gluten-free stuff because I'm celiac. And so I can't do all the awesome looking baked stuff, but
Yep.
sometimes it's these mom and pop, you
Yep.
know, coffee shops where they just bring out the best baked goods and
Yep.
specifically the gluten-free ones. So that obviously watching the sunset at
Hmm.
the West End or whatever it's called
Yep.
is a lot of fun, very, very touristy. Um, I feel like you have to have a scooter when you're in Key West because
Yep.
it's just so fun. Yeah. And then I think once you get out and you're on, it's Duval, right? Is that
Hmm.
the one with all the yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all good. They're
Yep.
all going to be bouncing back and forth between Zach Brown, Jimmy Buffett. Yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna be
Yep.
good music, good times.
Yeah, I always tell people if you don't like what you're listening to, head outside, go left or right, one or two doors down. see what else is playing, because there's never
Yeah.
an opportunity to not listen to
Yeah.
great music. If you're ever
Yeah.
back in Key West, be sure to check out Moondog Cafe. It's right next to the Hemingway House. It
Moondog.
used to be
Okay.
Six Toed Cats years ago. It was the Six Toed Cats, but it's now Moondog Cafe,
Very cool.
and
I
they have
bet I've
gluten-free.
been.
Yeah, and the
That'd
cafe,
be very
yeah,
nice.
and the cafe over off of Duval right there. I think it's on Simonton. They also have gluten free. So I have
Very
people
nice.
who are very. I try to keep adept into what's available and where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So one last couple last questions. What is a booking habit that you hope that savvy.com is going to stop people from doing because it's not putting them in a good position for a good rental?
Well, we hope that people are gonna stop going to Airbnb and Verbo and start going to Savvy, because that's gonna leave them more money to spend on their vacation, which means they're gonna have the opportunity to create better memories with friends and family. It's
Right.
gonna put more money in the pocket of the host and the homeowner,
Mhm.
and just it's sort of a win-win all the way around.
Awesome. No, I think that's really good. And I want everybody to take an opportunity to head over to savvy.com and check out the over 150,000 properties that they have, because they have some amazing properties, and there are some on there that are in Key West that I have bookmarked, thinking I'm just going to have to figure out how to get there and stay there, because they just look absolutely amazing and their location would be perfect. So with that, Eric, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. And I
Thanks for
hope,
having me.
yeah, and I hope all of you guys are excited about checking out savvy.com and booking your next trip with them, and being able to find your perfect location. Any last words, Eric, you want to share?
No, I just say thanks for having me. We've got 150 in North America. We hope to add, sort of head to international by the end of the year. So we'll be able to help people out wherever they're traveling ultimately. But we've been live for a year. So I feel like having 150,000 properties live from over 2,500 property management companies is a good start. So we're gonna keep cranking. If you come to the site, we don't have what you're looking for. Check back next time you travel, because we're adding thousands of listings every month.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Eric, for joining us. Thank you, my viewers, for watching it and checking in. And if you have any questions, we're going to put the contact information for Eric. Well, actually, why don't you let everybody know if they want to get a hold of you or how they find out more information? Tell them how.
Yeah, so savvy.com, savvy.com.
Mhm.
I'm on LinkedIn. It's Eric Goldreyer. And my email is Eric, ERIC, at savvy, savvy.com. So hit me up directly, or drop something in LinkedIn, and I'll get back with you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, my viewer, for being here and, as always, being part of our community. And we look forward to talking to you guys later. Thanks. A big thanks to Eric for sharing his wealth of knowledge and introducing us to Savvy.com, your new best friend for booking unforgettable stays without breaking the bank. Whether you're planning your next Key West getaway or dreaming of your next adventure, remember, it's all about creating memories, not just transactions. Don't forget to check out Savvy.com and see how much you can save on your next trip. And hey, if you loved this episode, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss out on the fun. Until next time, keep chasing sunsets, sipping mojitos, and living your best island life. Cheers.